Hey guys, how is everyone doing? You asked and I delivered. I realized that you guys love story times more than anything on this channel. My first ever story time is sitting on 600 and something views. My second story time is on 200 and today checked it was on 213. We're getting there. I mean, the views are quite impressive. Comparing with the other videos I did long back, the views are really impressive. So today I decided to do a third story time. I had one story time in mind initially, and then while I was busy doing something, I just thought about another story time. So I didn't know which one to do today, and I asked on my posts, I asked on my statuses and on Facebook, and then people decided for today's story time. So if you're really in for yet another story time, you know what to do. Grab your popcorn or your snacks, fasten your seatbelts, invite others to also have a good laugh, and let's get into it before wasting much of your time. And oh, please don't forget to comment, like, engage, share, and to subscribe to my channel, honey, because, honey, what are you waiting for? It will be very nice to have you as part of my family. So please consider subscribing to the channel. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. So I've already done my eyebrows off camera because if I wanted to do this on camera, it was gonna take a long time, trust me. So if you really want to learn how to do perfect brows like this, I'll link a video in my description box and you can just go and watch it. Or maybe one of these days I will dedicate a tutorial on eyebrows. Okay, so yeah, just let me know if you're interested in an eyebrow tutorial, like a step-to-step eyebrow tutorial, beginner friendly for my friends who are still struggling to do brows. So anyway, we're gonna proceed to do my face today. I think I'll start with my face, then we'll finish off with the eyes, ne? So the first thing I'm gonna do is applying this primer from Essence. I love this primer, it smells amazing. Anyway guys, how are you? I hope you're fine. So basically what a primer does is it helps your foundation to sit well on your skin, because this is what we call skin prep. We just basically prepping our skin because we want the makeup to sit nicely on your skin, you know. You don't just apply foundation um, directly on your skin. So after you do your skincare routine, the next product you put is um, your primer. Then you apply your foundation. Okay, so I'm just gonna thin it just a little bit while I gather courage and the energy to talk about this second story time, because you guys, Mangondi Juma, honestly, I did put a poll on my Instagram asking people which story time I must do first, between the two I had, and then people chose this one that I'm gonna talk about. So I wasn't really prepared for that one, but we would give people what they want. So yeah, okay, where do I even start? Well, let's just talk about this foundation. I love this foundation. It's called True Skin from Catrice. It's amazing, guys. It's lightweight, full coverage. It's just great. It's amazing. And let me check which shade it is. Um, where is the shade? It's 094 Warm Cocoa. If you're dark like myself, then oh my god, I'm missing my pajama. Then you really have to try this foundation. It's great. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a damp sponge. I always love to use a sponge more than a brush. I'm just used to does great for me. And you know, the thing is, when you're used, you just use. That's the thing. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking about makeup after I'm done with the foundation because you see, I'm just like applying. I can't really talk when I'm applying this foundation. So yeah, please bear with me. Don't forget to apply your neck area, guys, and your ears. See, because it's already different, the skin colors. Can you see? Can you see how perfectly it blends into my skin? I love this foundation, guys. Love it. I'm gonna talk about how I helped my sister-in-law give birth in the house. Guys, and I'm a midwife. I will never in my life forget that day, okay? Guys, I've never seen anything like that in my life. That was the day I realized I'm actually a strong person, eh? Like, I was traumatized, but I handled it, you know? Yo. Okay, so I'm just gonna highlight using this concealer from Maybelline Fit Me. Um, okay, so what happened is, my sister-in-law was pregnant. Um, okay, your name is my Juju, like my Juju basically means your son is called Junior, so the shortcut is Juju, you know. And then my means mom, so basically I'm just saying in translation, Junior's mom. So I'm just gonna call her my Juju because I can't be saying my sister-in-law, my sister-in-law. You get it? So my Juju was pregnant. She was heavily pregnant, and then my driver at that time, he was a truck driver. He was always out of the country because he usually drove like Mozambique, South Africa, Mozambique, South Africa, you understand? So I just needed to be out of town. I just needed some fresh air, you know? And I was like, I can come to your house and help your wife, you know, take care of her and stuff. You know, when you're heavily pregnant, you will need help, obviously, because Junior is, how old is Junior now? I think he's like 3, 4 years. 2020, he was born in 2020. Yeah, he's turning 5 years. Yeah, he's turning 5 years this year. And obviously, there is no way she could do all the house chores alone, you know? So I was like, my brother, let me go. I was like, cool, Tete, you can go. Tete means aunt, like my sister. So my Juju calls me auntie, like sister-in-law. Juju also calls me auntie, like Tete. Like your brother's sister is called Tete in my language, Shona, you know? So she was like, cool, Tete, you can go anytime, what. And I was like, cool. I went with Jace. He was still 1 year. This happened when? Happened in 2020, 2023, yeah. So I went to Cape Town. That was in September. Yeah, that was in September when I went there. And then, everything was great. She was always going for her checkups. Like, she didn't have complications, by the way. So there was nothing to worry about. And my junior always told me that, like, her other pregnancies, this one was a different pregnancy, okay? Everything was different, like in terms of the labor. So she anticipated that it will be the same thing, you understand? So the day arrived, the labor pains. She didn't have any of those signs like the water break and stuff, you know? So in the morning, I was sleeping around 5. She's like, auntie, I'm just feeling funny and but I don't think it's labor pain. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, I think so. Then I was like, okay, cool. Then I went back to sleep. And then I woke up around, I think 9ish, thereabout. She was busy cutting pineapples. I think she was feeling that it's getting there, you know? Yo, my junior, if you're watching this video, hey, you almost killed me that day, Makoti, yo. What am I looking for? I want to do, okay, sorry guys. I want to set my face now. So I'm using this translucent powder from Yardley. Ne? So my junior, she was cutting pineapples. Apparently, when it's your like your labor day in my culture, usually during the pregnancy, there's stuff that we drink and there's things that we do. Like we call them masuo. It's basically, how can I say it? A way, paving a way for the baby. Like they say, if you want to have if you want to have kind of a quick labor or easy labor, you have to drink this, you have to do that. I don't know if you do that in like in your culture. I don't know if every culture does that, but I'm sure just like a way of inducing labor and stuff. So she was cutting pineapples because I believe she was like, that's the way. Yeah, because people say pineapple helps when it's labor time and stuff. So she was carrying a pineapple. She was also drinking ivure, this soil. It's called mo soil. I don't know if you know what is a mo is, but I'll put a picture. So we call it in Shona ivure nunga. So it says the old people, they say it also paves the way for the baby. Like there's a lot of things you can drink. Like people drink cow dung, they drink beans water. Like you basically put some water in beans, then you have to drink it. I also drink some of these things. I had a long list my aunt gave me to do, and I think some of the things worked. And also some people drink, there's a castor oil, castor oil, the castor oil tree, the roots. People say if you put the roots and boil them and you put them in the fridge, the day the labor pain starts, you drink. They say immediately the baby will come. I don't know how true that is. I also drink that. I didn't have like I had a very quick labor. Maybe I'll talk about it, but there wasn't really nothing special about it. I mean, like something dramatic that I can really say I want to talk about it. There's nothing really juicy about it, you get it. So I don't know. But if you're interested, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to share it. So my junior was drinking some of these things, preparing the baby to come and stuff. Then I saw her, she was cutting a pineapple. Now akushinyirika man, she was like kushinyirika kanonzibone chirungu. Chirungu chacho chinozombotisa guys. Bear with me. I'll find a word for kushinyirika for non-Shona speaking. Right now, I'm gonna contour my face using this contour palette from Chem Ready. I'm gonna use this shade here. Shivering. Kushinyirika not shivering, guys. Correct me, please. Yeah, she was shivering, like feeling that the pain was coming now. And I'm like, my junior, what's going on? She started, I think, labor. But she was like, she didn't tell the husband, because the husband is very strict when it comes to these things. I don't believe the manga manga. I think she also wasn't really ready kukwenda kuningiri. This thing about going to the labor ward. At times it's a false labor. You can't just go. If there isn't really signs and maybe it's a false labor, you don't want to go and then they bring you back, like they send you back home, it sucks. So I think she didn't want that. And like I said, she didn't know this baby was different. Ne? So she's shivering and I'm like, yo, I was panicking now. I was panicking, but I was still a bit calm. I didn't know how bad it was. And then she went to bath. That is when the horror started. Because I believe the hot water, it quickened everything. The hot water, because she was sitting in the tub and stuff. Yo, the moment she came back from the tub, hey, mawani ndo pakatange ipapo. She was like, I'm seeing her, she's on the bed. She's just sitting on the bed, she's trying to sleep. I don't know what was really happening. Hey guys, labor, if you gave birth, you know how that pain is. You can't even really describe that pain, guys. It's just too much. It's just excruciating. And then Now I'm trying to bath Jace. I'm trying to bath because I didn't even bath, mind you. It was still like, I think now it was around 11. And then now she called my brother, telling him that I think the baby's coming. Yo. So the brother, obviously, the husband, being far away, he was already panicking and stuff. And now he's like, guys, call the Uber. Guys. And now, mind you, that was like my first time in that area, like the Cape Town. In Cape Town, I didn't even know it. The street. Even she's in pain, she can't talk and stuff. Like she's just like, Tete, let's do this. It's like, call the ambulance, guys. The ambulance. We called the ambulance actually, but it was late. It arrived an hour after the baby was born. Imagine. And then we called the ambulance. It's not coming. We called we called a private ambulance. It's also getting lost. I don't know what was happening. And then now I went, she was like, Tete, look, I'm bleeding now. She called me, she was screaming. I went into the bedroom. Haibo. And she was like, she was bleeding now, like the baby's literally coming. I could see the head. Yo! And I can't mudumbu, guys. Sing a whole baby. Yo. Those who witness someone giving birth, tell me how it was. Yo, I was shocked. I gave birth. This was my first time seeing a whole human being coming out of the tummy. Hey, now I'm thinking, how am I even going to remove this baby from the tummy? And she's like, Tete, push the baby. Tete, help, Tete, help me. Yo, now I'm taking my phone. You know that thing, like you're just lost, you don't know what to do. Like I'm just confused because I didn't know. Should I call the husband? What should we do? Because now we're just waiting for the ambulance. I was lost, guys. I didn't know what to do. I remember going on YouTube looking for videos how to push a baby. But the Adam is like, Sha, time is moving. You don't have time for this. Now I'm calling the husband. I'm just panicking. I'm just speaking fast, like telling my brother, the baby's here. What? I called my sister. Like, guys, we were all confused. Yo, mind you, it was my first time, eh? So I didn't know how to react, how to respond. And then I remember my junior's firstborn, she went to call the neighbors to come and help and stuff. She rushed and she was crying. Remember, she's, I think, 12 years. She was crying. Juju was also there. That time he was 3 years. Jace was also there. He witnessed the baby. He witnessed it. You're my son. They went to call the neighbors. Oh, sorry, I'm applying a blush. This is from Beauty Treats. They're rushing to call the neighbors, and the neighbor came. Lucky enough, there was a nurse as well. And then the neighbor, I think there was like a WhatsApp group, so she sent a message in the WhatsApp group telling them that there is someone who gave birth on the complex. If anyone can help, if we have nurses and stuff, you can please rush and stuff. So there was a nurse apparently, and she came afterwards. So, guys, I saw a whole baby coming. Now she's like, Auntie, push. Push where am I, Junior? I don't even know how to do this. I remember just touching the stomach and the baby was like, the baby just came out on its own. I don't know if she pushed or what. I don't know. All I remember is I just hold her stomach, and then because I was also scared, I just hold the baby. I just hold the stomach, sorry, and then the baby just came out. Ah, and the baby. Then I took a blanket and just like covered. I'm also scared. Remember now I'm seeing the blood and the placenta. Everything is just everywhere. Yo, guys, if you have any labor pain signs, go to the hospital. Don't wait. Like what my junior did, thinking it's gonna be the same like the other children. Ah, because pregnancies are different. That was a spring. That was a setting spray. I'm just setting this whole makeup, the powders, the foundations and stuff. And now the baby's born. He was crying. We are happy. He's alive. Now it comes for time to remove the placenta. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not doing this. If anything goes wrong, the blood will be in my hands. Cutting what? No ways. And now the ambulance is too late. It's not coming. Now because we are now afraid of the placenta, it's still in the tummy. The ambulance arrived after like 1.5 hours. Yo, zvinhu zvazvaitwa ngezitongo mwechina chaizvitongo zvaitoda kutoti vatofa, but God intervened here. God intervened. Yeah, I'm gonna apply my eyeshadows now. Today I feel like a black smoky eye, so I'm gonna use this palette from Cam Ready. I want to apply this black, and then I want to apply a dark brown from this palette and an orange. I think I'm just feeling like those kind of colors today. Now we are afraid now kuti yo naimi the ambulance is not here yet, and now the placenta is still there, the umbilical cord is still there. How is that possible? How on earth? And then the other neighbor, she was like, take the baby, because now the baby was still like on the kunonzi kumakumbo kwamai vacho, was still there kumakumbo kwamai vacho. The mother is just sleeping there, and now the neighbor was like, take the baby, give the baby to the mom. What? You want me to take what? I was even scared of the baby. Because now the baby is still, he had the umbilical cord. Guys, it's just scary. Man, I was already traumatized, so there was no way. I wasn't even functioning very well, Shem. I was just so scared, Shem. But I did what I could. I took a wrapper, and I took the baby and I gave the baby to the mom. The mom was now shivering because it was still a bit cold, eh? South African weather. In the house it has tiles, so those kind of houses. She was feeling very cold. We made some tea for her. We also gave her a hot water bottle and stuff. And she started feeling sick because of the placenta. I think the placenta was still there. Because immediately when you give birth, you are supposed to remove that placenta. But now the ambulance was not there, and none of us knew how to do those things. I didn't want to do anything, of course. I didn't want to risk. I didn't want to do anything I don't know. Let the professionals do their thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be responsible for something like death. I'm not going to do that. So she was now shivering. Now I was like, guys, what's happening? The baby was still showing signs of life and stuff, but now the mother is not feeling well and ambulance is not coming. And then we kept on motivating her, encouraging her to stay awake and fight for her life, man. We kept on encouraging her, and she was really trying. And then afterwards, the government ambulance arrived. That private one, it called and was telling us we are lost and stuff. So we just left it, and then we just just relying on the government ambulance. Then it arrived after like an hour and a half. Guys, imagine. So I'm just basically paking this black shade on my eyelid. So if you really want a good smoky eye, you want to pack first, and then you start blending. This is how you pack, like it's like you patting like this. Not sweeping motions. Sweeping motions, you do it when you're blending. this is how you pack an eyeshadow. It will also give a good pigmentation color. And then the ambulance arrived. I'm gonna apply this orange shade. As my second. No, I'm supposed to apply a brown. Sorry, a dark brown. I'm gonna apply a dark brown shade. This one is my second color, and then the orange, the light orange actually is my third color. Yeah. So the ambulance arrived, guys, and then they came and they helped. They take out the placenta. Apparently, the placenta, I think because it took time, it was a bit swollen, so it was very painful. She said it was like she was giving birth again because it was a bit swollen, I think. So, I think it's painful. Yeah, I can only imagine. So she managed to take out the placenta and then they rushed her to the hospital. Thank God the Uber, we didn't Uber. Otherwise, if we had Ubered, she was gonna give birth in the Uber, guys. Hey, my junior is a gangster, guys. That day, she even walked alone. I didn't even hold her hand. She was even holding the baby when she was going to the ambulance. And she got discharged the same day. She went to the hospital around 2. Around 6, she was back, meaning they were both fine. Because obviously, if she wasn't, or the baby, they were gonna stay in the hospital, they were gonna be admitted. But thank God um, they got discharged the same day. And then later on, when they left, I was I started washing the blankets because I didn't know if she was gonna discharge or not. Because remember, the blankets were full of blood and stuff. I had to wash the stuff, waiting for her to come back, I had to cook and all of that. Yo. Hmm. Panga ipa, guys. Panga ipa. Katasho. The baby is called Tashongedzwa or Jupiter. Pangatasho. You must watch this video when you grow up. I will always remind you that I helped you come out of that tummy. Ah, you guys, bakayitika drama, musuyu. I will never forget that day, guys. I will never. I always said if I was still in primary when we used to write my composition that day, I'll never forget. I was gonna write that day because I don't think I'll ever forget that day. Okay, I don't think this shade I wanted to put is appropriate to make it a transition because it's too colorful for a transition shade. So I'm going for this shade here. Because remember, the face shade should be very, very light. Mm. Otherwise, I will struggle to blend. So that's how I helped my sister-in-law give birth. Never to be repeated, my junior. Never. If you ever think of having another baby, the moment you start feeling funny, you better rush. We are not gonna do that again. Okay, my junior, I know you are watching me. And the husband, he came, I think 2 days or a day after the baby was born. He came. He started shouting at us like, you guys, you're not serious. She was supposed to be at the hospital the moment she felt the pain. Baba Junior, what do you mean? And my family, they started calling me Mbuya Nyamkuta. I think Mbuya Nyamkuta is literally translated as a midwife. They're saying like, they were like, morning Mbuya Nyamkuta. Shakauma, guys. I've never been scared in my life like that day, man. Mm-mm. us women, we are so strong. Since I'm not yet done with my makeup, the story time is over, ne? But I'm almost done though. I'm almost done. I can as well tell you my bed story, like how it went. Was smooth, wasn't bad, honestly. Like I said, I was drinking kama suwaya, tuti masuwaya. Mm, I started feeling pain. Actually, I had a false labor. So when I started feeling pain, I didn't have a water break. Ne? I noticed some blood spots on my pants. And then my sister's like, Rumbi, right now, take a bath. We are not going to wait for anything. And then the pain would come and go, like you feel like those period cramps, and then 1 minute they stop, 1 minute they start. Yo, that pain, I can't explain that pain, guys. Yo, it's too much. It's too much. Yo. Hmm. And then when you go to the hospital, they will okay, the thing with Prince Albert, where I'm staying, right, you can't, if it's your first time giving birth, they don't send you, you don't give birth in the town. You go to another town, the bigger hospital, because I think they are trying to minimize in case there are complications and stuff. As a first time mom, they'll send you to a bigger hospital, and the bigger hospital is in Old Soron, which is like an hour away from our town, guys. So the ambulance have to take you there. And if the complications are major, then they'll have to take you to another bigger hospital, which is George. So it's like 2 hours from here, the George Hospital. I didn't have any problems during the pregnancy and stuff. Um, yeah, I didn't have any problems. So, but they sent me anyway. They sent me because it was my first time giving birth and stuff. Let me do my lips and then I will do my eyelashes off cam and then proceed. Okay? I don't know what color to do, but I think nude. So my sister, she sent me to the hospital, the local hospital, and then they have to do the observations, like the whole procedure. I'm applying this lipstick from Cam Ready. It's a dark brown lipstick. So my sister took me to the hospital with the ambulance and stuff. Then I spent like an hour or so. I spent like an hour. They were doing the checkups and everything. It's so painful when they put that belt on your stomach. It's so tight and you're feeling the pain. Guys, it's something else. Before, guys, choose your partners wisely, okay? My baby daddy, I think he panicked. It's not like I'm dissing him or anything, but I feel like he was just a coward. The way he responded, that was just him being a coward. Like my sister, my baby daddy was staying opposite our house. Mind you, we had broken up and stuff. So my sister went to tell him that I the baby's coming. And do you know what he did? He told my sister that he called another friend to come over to our house to help and stuff. And he remained there. He didn't even come to check. Like, dude, what the hell? What the F? Luckily, my sister didn't tell me that this is what he said because I thought he was at work. My sister, she came and she said he's not there, he's at work. She lied because she knew I was gonna walk. What do you mean, Shangwara? And the meat is on do zoti uno dedza mwe munhu. Like, nigga, you crazy. Guys, angwaruma tinombosangana nawo. Yeah, ne? Yeah, anyway, and then I got sent to my mom was at work when the labor started, right? She got cold and then her boss dropped her here. So my mom took me to the hospital, not my sister. My mom took me to the hospital because someone was supposed to come with me to the next town. So my mom took me with, yeah, that pain I was talking about. Eh, that pain. I antumbudekana kuyinzwa pain yekuleba. I can't even imagine when I need 4 days, 5 days, are in labor, guys. Yeah, pain ya ite guys. Pain ya mawan. Hakuna pain yakadaro. Saka manje, this one moment you feel like vomiting, the next you feel like pooping, the next you feel like I can't even explain it. Oh, I'm looking for another shade, man. I feel like this is not doing justice. It's not shade. And mind you, we were traveling from one city to another. That ambulance was rushing and the road bumps. Then I would go and sit on my mother's lap. 1 minute I tried to stand up, the next I tried to lie down. Imigame labor itaimega zvivane zvandisikuita izvozvi. Tambangu, I'll give birth even 5 times, I don't mind, as long as I find a responsible guy. If I find a loving man, a loving husband, I will do it over and over. I don't care how painful it is. I will give birth. We arrived in the city and stuff. And they start again to do those procedures, checking the heart rate, everything. Is the baby fine? Are you fine? And also waiting for the centimeters, because apparently they say you must be on 10 centimeters. Because the moment I arrived to the hospital, I was already on 4 centimeters. Then when I left, I think I was like on 6. When I arrived in the bigger hospital, I was on 8. So now I was waiting for 2 centimeters so that I can start pushing. Here, I started pushing before my time, and the nurses was like, "No, don't push." Guys, it's easier said than done, Apparently, I was pooping. I was busy pooping, and there were some student nurses. They were so disgusted. Busy with a china zhangu. And I thought it was the baby, and I was like, the baby's coming. Hey. Little did I know that it was pooper. Guys, I'm applying some concealer because I feel like the lip is a bit dark for my liking. And then I pushed the baby cam. I think his head, Johnny Gotsika Peppa Pig. We call my son Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig is a big head, not a big head. What do you call this part of the head? We call it Gotsishon. I don't know what you call it in English. For my non-Shona speaking, this part, what do you call it? He is a big of that part. And I ended up having some stitches. Guys, the stitches they're actually so painful than giving birth itself. And it was in June. Jace was born in June. So imagine, winter is at its peak. I'm having stitches. The moment the baby starts sucking, you feel that pain. I think my stitches that were worse than giving birth, because giving birth is instant. It's gone. When it's done, it's done. But stitches, you have stitches for like weeks and it's painful. And bland and I went to my aunt's place and I stayed there for a whole week. I wasn't bathing like kugarira salt zvezvandaita kumba kwedu unongoziva kudzimba dzevanhu dzengwa kune usinyatsorina maresources unge zvekumba kwenyu, and ndaingoita zvekungomazungurudza manhikirini mastitch ndaitopinguzva. nekutadza kutanga kufamba tete wangu noticed kuti she's not okay. Then she was like, let me check you down there, and she saw urwa. I was like, iwe. What's happening? Why are you not doing what you're supposed to do? Aya ndine mafanizo futhi. Guys, I'm putting this shimmer whatever, the glow, for the glow highlighter. I love this shade. In a pink undertone, so you can no fari. I don't know if it's suitable for my skirt like now. I love it. You see the pink, honey? It's giving. And then I started doing that thing. You could pick a pad. Also, it's you know, what do you call this? That coarse salt in my gold. So I was now wearing the pad, and then I put coarse salt directly so that I heal quicker because I was now damaged down there, you know? So that the stitches can start drying up again. Ish, guys, I've never been in pain in my life like that. That pain is so excruciating. I can't even compare it to anything. Especially the pain you must stitch. You know words. Especially now when the baby is trying to latch. And you're trying to sit down. Guys, I don't even want to think about it. I even feel pain right now as I talk. Yeah, and then I gave birth to the love of my life. It was a quick labor and smooth, nothing hectic, to really sit down and talk about it. Honestly, that was an opportunity for me to talk about it because I wasn't done with my makeup the moment I finished the story time. And I want to apply some lip gloss. I don't know if this one is gonna work. Let's see. I really feel like a glossy lip today. Okay. And then I'll apply the lashes of Care. And that's it. You see how easy it is to snatch your face? You just have to keep on doing it, honestly. It's not that bad. Definitely not that bad. Okay. So I'm just gonna apply my lashes of Care, and that's basically it. I'll come and show you how we look afterwards, okay? So guys, this is the finished look. I went on to do my eyelashes and to just do my hair, just spraying the braids, and you know the vibes. What do you think of this look, guys? Do you like it? Rate it out of 10. Let's hear your thoughts. I am in love. This is the finished look. Loving how it's looking. I'm looking so glamorous. I am in love. Oh my word. Thank you so much for watching. If you have watched to the end of the video, I hope you enjoyed the story time, and please don't forget to share it with your loved ones and to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to comment, to like, and to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the support, and thank you for 5,500 subscribers. Guys, we are growing, and yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive. I'm so grateful for all of you guys. I hope you continue to support the journey as we are looking forward to reaching the 4,000 watch hour. We're still behind, but we will definitely get there. By God's grace, fingers crossed, we will get there one day, very soon. Anyway, I'll see you on my next video. Bye.
Met a fine girl from